Hello, we have had a great start to the school year, and now it is time for our September board report. First of all, we did have a tax levy hearing prior to the regularly scheduled board meeting, and so I did go over all of the information related to the levies that we would ultimately set at the September board meeting. And to give you those facts and figures, first of all, we did receive an assessed valuation in early July, around July 3rd, of $1,635,110,960. Then we ultimately received an updated AV numbers on September 11th, and that was $1,587,290,981. So our AV did decrease over that time, $47,819,979, or about 2.9%. So that actually was a little better than I was expecting due to all of the appeals. But in addition to that, there are still approximately $170 million worth of appeals that are outstanding. So with that information, I did recommend to the Board of Education that we would increase our operational levy by 8 cents, just as what we said during our levy campaign, and then we would decrease our debt service levy by 40 cents. Again, this is what we stated we would do during our levy campaign. So our new operational levy will be $4.11.9, up 8 cents from last year, and our debt service will be 91.81 cents, which is a 40-cent drop from last year. Moving into the regular board meeting, first of all, we did have the consent agenda, and we approved bills totaling $15,636,890. We did move on to the superintendent's report. First of all, we have had a great start to the school year. I've been so excited about the 4-day instructional week. Overall, it has gone exceptionally well. Really, the only hiccup that we've had to start the school year was the weather, and we did have some air conditioning units go down in buildings, but those have been fixed as of today. Also, under superintendent's report, I did talk about our enrollment. What came as a surprise is we are up substantially this year in our enrollment. We are up as of the day after Labor Day this year compared to last year. We're up 421 students. Under new business, item number 1 was the approval of the levy. And again, just to remind everyone, we did increase the operating levy to $4.11.9. That is an 8-cent increase. And again, as a reminder, we will use all of that money to increase benefits and salaries for our employees. We then did have a corresponding debt service decrease of 40 cents. So our debt service levy will be 91.81 cents. So this will create an overall levy of $5.11.71, and this is a 32-cent decrease from last year. Item number 2 was the approval of the transportation routes for this school year. We did approve 202 routes, and this is actually 5 less than we had last year, as we had 207 total routes. Item number 3 was the approval to accept pricing for propane fuel for the 23-24 and the 24-25 school year. We did go with Herl gas for this upcoming school year, and this is the same vendor that we've used for the last 2 years. Item number 4 was the approval to adopt the local plan for compliance and the assurance statement, Part B, Section 613 of IDEA. And so we did have 2 major changes to that. The first one is that any student enrolled in MOCAP, and that is virtual school, not provided by the ISD, but provided by other vendors, that those students who have an IEP would be the responsibility of the host school and not the independent school district to service that IEP. And then additionally, we do have, in accordance to Senate Bill 681, which is the BRIGHT Act, this will ensure that students with visual impairments get Braille instruction from properly certified teachers. And we've always had that in the past, but what we did is we're adding that we will recognize other certifications for those teachers. Item number 5 was the approval of the July 1, 2023 insurance renewal. And this may look just a little unusual because obviously we're past July 1 and we had approved this previously. As I stated in a previous board meeting, our property and casualty insurance continues to go up substantially. So we actually did go back to our broker and then ultimately the carrier and ask what they would do if we would change our deductible. So we are going to move from a $25,000 deductible up to a $1 million deductible. The savings by moving the deductible from $25,000 to $1 million will be $495,312. So obviously that is a substantial savings, but what we're going to do with that, because we do have a higher deductible and we want to make sure that the district is protected if we would happen to have a large claim, is under item number 6 is the approval of property and casualty insurance committed fund. So we will use that savings of approximately $500,000 over the next 2 years, and we will transfer that and move that into a committed fund. So if we would ever have a time in which we did have a large claim, that money would already be available to cover that larger deductible. And this does a couple things. First of all, it does lower our premium, but then property and casualty insurance is something that is spent out of the general fund, and I call that kid money, where if we would have a claim, that is out of capital funds, and that's for projects. So by doing this, after we do fully fund the committed fund, we will be able to use that $500,000 in future years for kids in our school district or for our employees. Item number 7 is the approval to purchase non-touch Chromebooks. This would be for the purchase of 500 Chromebooks, totaling $147,535. This is under the Ed Plus contract through CDWG. And again, we do need these as replacements, as well as for the fact that our enrollment did increase more than what we were expecting. Item number 8 is the approval to purchase touch Chromebooks, and we're going to purchase 831 Chromebooks, and these will be placed in our kindergarten classrooms throughout the district, and this totals $261,823.17, and again, this is through the Ed Plus contract with CDWG. Item number 9 is the approval to accept a bid to purchase 3 lathes for the Van Horn Metal Shop. Eichmann Sales Associates was the winning bidder on this at $111,817. The great thing about this is we do receive a vocational enhancement grant from DESE, so we are going to get reimbursed $85,050 of this cost. And then the last item, number 10, is the approval of the declaration of surplus items in the school district. And again, if you would ever have an interest in purchasing any items that we are surplusing, please go to govdeals.com and you can look at bidding on these items. So that is my September board report. Overall, like I said earlier, it's been a great start to the school year. I really appreciate everyone's support as we've started this school year. Really excited about the 4-day school week, and it's going really well. So again, everyone have a great September, and thank you for all of your support.